Hi everyone! So I wanted to go over a video with you on how to include and integrate quotations into your writing that really help to add to your overall writing and really boost your analysis and provide evidence to help support your ideas. There's a smooth way of going about including quotations, which is why I wanted to review this, especially because quotations can be sometimes difficult to integrate into your writing in a way that seems seamless and can be read quite fluently and is fluid in your writing. So let's go ahead and start. What I would like for you to first do is take a moment, pause this video, and go ahead and read each one of these persuasive essay extracts, and then think in your head just which one you find more convincing and why. So go ahead, take a moment, pause the video, read the two excerpts, and then just think on those two questions. Going on to the next one, I'd like for you to read the two literary essay extracts. The last one was a persuasive. And take a moment, pause this part of the video, read those two excerpts, and then tell me which one you think is more thorough and why. So go ahead, take a moment, pause the video, read those two pieces of information or those two literary essay extracts. Tell me, or tell yourself in this case, which one is more thorough and why. So quotations are often used in academic writing for a few of the following reasons. One, to help back up the writer's thoughts and ideas with credible sources, so that way your writing seems more reliable and the reader can actually trust you in terms of what you're talking about. To add weight to an argument or a thesis statement, so to really hone in on your argument or the main point of what you're trying to write. To illustrate a point more clearly with evidence from a text, most of the time this can be used to give an example of something that you're mentioning in your essay or in your writing. And then the last part, to demonstrate how the writer arrived at their opinion or their point of view. So to provide evidence to support your opinions and your overall ideas that you're presenting in your writing. These are just a few reasons why quotations are included in academic writing, but you'll find that a lot of times people use quotations just to provide extra emphasis, detail, or to give themselves more credibility in their writing. Whenever you write a literary essay, a research essay, or an article, you will be expected to do a certain amount of background reading and research. If you just steal other writers' words without correctly quoting and giving credit to them, it's called plagiarism. And you must avoid plagiarism at all costs. We talked about this at the beginning of the year. Please do not copy and paste off of the internet and claim it as your own answers or your own writing. That's why you always put these things in quotations and make sure you cite it properly. So, in order to avoid any of that and to learn how to integrate quotes effectively into your writing and to incorporate them correctly, we're going to go over the next few slides to try and help you achieve that in your own writing. When should you use quotations? And we kind of already went over this, but your writing should be predominantly your own thoughts and words and ideas and analysis. And you want to use quotes sparingly only when it is effective. This also goes for not including very long, bulky quotes unless absolutely every part of that quote is necessary to drive home your point. Most of the times, it's only part of a quote or even a few words that are really going to drive home your point. So make sure you choose those quotes carefully and that you're not including big, bulky quotes throughout your writing just to meet a word count or just to make it look like you're incorporating more evidence. Because most of the time, that actually takes away credibility because you're not providing enough of your own ideas. Therefore, only include quotations in the following situations. When your own words could not say it better and the quotation will be more effective or memorable. When you want to use the exact words of someone else or the exact words of a piece of a text. or when you want to add evidence or authority from another source to add credibility to your own point. How do you include a quotation? A quotation cannot stand alone. I've mentioned this phrase before, but I call this quote plopping. Do not just put a quote in there without any explanation or any introduction or any analysis. It must be incorporated into your own writing with an explanation, introduction, or reason for why it is being included. The reader should automatically know why you are including that quotation in your text. They shouldn't be left wondering why there's a random quotation in the middle of your own writing. So go ahead and take a look at this earlier example that you read. It shows an introductory point that was made, backed up that point with a quotation from a text, and then explained or gave a reason for the inclusion of that quote. Your quote should always have some type of introductory point and an explanation after the fact to help your quote really flow throughout your writing and give reason to why there's a quote in your writing in the first place. You should try to follow the following formula for including quotations. And I would definitely write this down somewhere because I think this is really, really helpful for any time you're including a quotation in your writing. Make a point, include a quotation, and give an explanation or state the relevance of that quotation. Again, avoid quote plopping at all costs. For example, you can see the point highlighted there in red. I won't read this to you just because I don't want to take up too much of your time reading the examples to you in the video. But if you want to go ahead and pause it, and then you can go ahead and read. But the point is made in the red text, the quotation in the green, and then the relevance in the orange. This is the formula that you probably want to follow anytime you're including something or anytime you're including a quotation or something from another author in your own writing. How does one include a quotation? You want to try as much as possible to integrate your quotations into your own sentences and use linking words and phrases between sentences. This is a really hard concept to get because sometimes it's hard to incorporate a quotation in your own words or to create transition words to help that flow. And it's a lot easier to just put a quotation in there without having to transition it. But it reads a lot better when you actually integrate it into your own writing and use these linking words between the sentences and phrases. So take a moment, pause this video, and compare these two examples that we have at the bottom here. The length of your quotations. Short inline quotations. If your quotation is fewer than 4 lines of prose or 3 lines of poetry, you can include it within your sentences and paragraph using quotation marks. This is an example of a short inline quotation. Long block quotations. This is what I said to avoid using too much of earlier, because a lot of times all of those words in that block quotation are probably not adding to your overall writing or your overall essay. If your quotation is longer than this, you should start a new line and indent the quotation. In this case, you do not need to use quotation marks for block quotations. This is an example of a block quotation. Now, this is actually where I'm going to end the video. I do want to review some punctuation that's important for incorporating quotations just for some English mechanics, but this is where I'm going to pause for our first part. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful information, and we are going to continue practicing this throughout the next few weeks of class.